guess, in some ways, the motivation for this discussion was I wanted to document the journey, the discovery, or as much content as I can about this path to discovery for Argyle. But diamond exploration itself is quite unique, and it's a dying art, if I want to put it. There is because it's more laborious, just going to the stream samples and digging it up, and then there's the lab part and identifying minerals and stuff. So to end this conversation, do you think going forward, I mean, we touched on this a bit, but how do you see this industry going? I mean, there must be, at some point in time, the African diamond pipes are getting deeper and deeper and deeper, but the demand's still there in some ways.
Yeah, look, I think what's driving it now is part of it anyway. Is you've got to have something like the diamonds that you're selling, because it's always about the marketing of the diamonds as to what they're. You just can't sell at the mine gate anymore, because you've got to have something special about your product. Now, if it's Argyle stones, it was the coloured stones and the pinks in particular, okay. And Allendale, it's become the yellows, okay. And the attraction of Merlin was these deflawless whites, which are beautiful, and of course the large stones that Merlin can produce, magnificent stones. So if you've got something special, you can make it work, and it can be hard yards to get there, and I think people got to be a little bit more passionate and enthusiastic about it, I guess. These things it's not like a gold mine or anything like that. People like to see the product, etc. So
I must say, we've had a few conversations about your web stuff, and I do think that's probably the cheapest, most cost-effective project to make a discovery of some sort, because kind of just sticking out there and just...
Well, it is, because it's more of a numbers game out there.
Yeah.
Is that there's a lot of targets there. I mean, not that you have to test them all, because we know the vast majority of them are barren for sure. So, and we know that because we tested about 20% of them. But there's certainly diamonds there, and this is the difference, is that perhaps if you're looking for diamonds or looking for gold, that you find a bit of gold, it doesn't necessarily add up to a lot, can mean anything.
Yeah.
But diamonds come out of kimberlites, so therefore, they'll have mates, as a case of how many are there, and because we see quite a subtle but very real and repeatable microdiamond anomaly out there. So there's got to be a diamond bearing source there. Now, whether there's commercial diamonds there is another issue. Okay, but
who cares?
You got to have a go at it. But the environment is not conducive to, and there's no medium there to test for commercial diamonds. The microdiamonds sort of have a particular behaviour all by themselves. They separate out from the heavy minerals and the commercial sizes. So, but it's there. You can go there, and you just got to drill enough holes and whatever, and it's easy enough to test for diamonds. So.
Yeah, no, I think...
and you don't have to go and find the things, but find the pipes to test. They're there. You just got to test them. But there are other places as well. Around Merlin, in fact, as well. There are other things there. To be found. There's plenty of clusters of both microdiamonds and indicator minerals there. They're just a little bit more difficult to resolve, because you have this issue with infill material getting into the pipes and disguising them at the surface, which I might say is something that occurs in the Kimberley as well, and that just makes it that little bit difficult to find the source. But getting back to the difference is that when you do get these things, they do have a source, and particularly microdiamonds or whatever, it'll be local or very close. They never travel far from home, so you just got to find it. they got it. They just can't come from some tiny small occurrence of kimberlite or anything. Nature of kimberlites, because of the distance they got to travel to get to the surface. They've got to have a bit of puff behind them to get to the surface. You're not going to find some little tiny dike or anything. There's got to be some big event there, and that goes back to Cohen Jeweller, all those microdiamonds down there, which we never figured out why or how or what are they in and so forth.
But if you look at the Kimberleys, I mean, you got Argyle, you got Aries, you can probably 10, 15 pipes.
Yep.
Ellendale was a big province, you want to call it. You would think that is the mecca of diamond in some ways. Because it's not that easy to work there, but surely there must be a few, not to say even one, somewhere that we haven't discovered. Would you?
Oh, look, there are areas there, where there's unexplained diamonds and stuff like that. Even if you go to the North Kimberley there, from the work I did there with Striker Resources, there's multiple populations of diamonds. Different morphology and so and this population is different from that population and different to that population, and they're not the known sources. Have not can't explain them all. So I guess one of the interesting things of around that area in the North Kimberley is that the diamonds you get out of Ashmore and the diamonds you get out of Lower Bulgaria and then the diamonds you get out of Seppelt, they're different. They're all different. So and there's such a different range of stuff. If you go to Seppelt too, it's 2 carats to the ton, But the sizes are very small, relatively small. You go to Ashmore, which has got a low grade, but I think it was like three 10-carat stones come out of there, and probably there's less than 1,000 carats have come out of the whole lot. So a huge variation in what these pipes can produce. So the thing is, you want those sort of Ashmore diamonds in the Seppelt 2 pipe. You want 2 carats a ton, but with the 10 caraters in. But that's not what happened.
I think the Kimberleys must. I mean, who knows? I mean, like you said, Merlin. Is there something else still hidden somewhere?
Oh well, there is, because the Merlin footprint is in size, not the Merlin pipes themselves. But I'm saying the event, the province, you can see, is the same size as about 50 km in diameter. It's the same size as in around Allendale. These things seem to have a certain footprint that they've affected after when they're coming through the crust. And Merlin's the same. You've got Merlin, you've got the Abner Range area, and then to the south, 40 km to the south, you've got what the prospect there we used to call Lancelot in the Kayana area. Diamonds indicated whatever, no source. And the thing is, you can't say, well, there isn't any source. There is a source, and we just haven't found it. Can't find it. And the geology is different there than up at Merlin on the plateau, and that's what made it a little bit more difficult to find. So it takes a bit of perseverance and things, But you can't, you can do surveys and so forth and say, oh, well, there mustn't be anything there. Well, you can't draw that conclusion if you're getting diamonds and indicator minerals in your samples.
Yeah, I mean, I remember us talking about stuff, and if the indicators and the diamonds are all showing that it hasn't travelled very far, it's got to come from somewhere. Like Webb, you kind of put your money saying it's got to come from this field. Surely.
Well, that's right. I mean, it's been explained to me how they could have travelled from some diamond-bearing field and landed on top of this barren one. So, but I've heard that story many times. But life's not that difficult. I mean, it's the most obvious answer is that they come out of that field. Okay, and there'll be something there that has clearly come out of the diamond stability field, and tapped into that. And we know that particular set of pipes there, and there's close to 300 of them, is that they a source, they sort of straddle that field, you know, from the research we've done. Some of them are shallower than that, some are slightly deeper, whatever. And there'll be one there that's done the job, or maybe more than one, who knows.